SPY S&P 500 update on the chart. Where's it going next? SPY SPY. We've had this test of the 4.4 and change target. We were talking about 444 more or less, this peak, and then exceeded it ever so slightly. We didn't yet get up to the 454 area and the next target with this second green box to the top side, after which you're towards the previous highs. So we've not made it quite there yet, though. If we zoom in a little, you can see this support line that's been running along price action since the lows in October. It could easily test there. That would exceed the 200 period moving average and ultimately bring SPY down to around those $400 levels. Along ahead of that, we have the 236 from the most recent impulse move up, and that trend line that's marked in here. If we're to fall back below that 236, it may well be in for a retracement that's correction of this move, but not against the overall trend, just support in around that 200 golden pocket retracement. That also would be a gap being filled on the charts coming in there, as you can see, around 420, and there's another slightly lower down around 404, 406, that sort of level. So if price action on SPY does go in for a major correction, even a major correction would only take us back to around the levels where you find the support on this linear trend to the top side. So positive moves on SPY, even if there's a retracement, though that retracement could be quite significant. On the hourly time frame then, 200 period moving average support. So far, higher highs, higher lows, a little bit of a gap to the top side, and price action today opened with that gap, pushed down lower, didn't manage to close it. Whoops, didn't manage to close it. So we'll see how price action evolves tomorrow and throughout the week. Obviously less time till close this week with the Monday holiday. You have your divergent high here, a test of the 200 period moving average afterwards. Divergence isn't the be all and end all, it'd be the trend, which is quite clear there. So moving to the top side, previous highs subsequent to a gap fill at 440, coming in, test 444, break that, you'll go on up and test 454, big chunk on top though. Does it look like that's going to happen? Oh, I thought I had my max pain windows, but I don't. That's something else that can open that, right? So you're talking about retracements then, if it does pull back, exceeding the golden pocket and filling in, you know, beyond that to fill in the big gap, which would be a Fibonacci extension from this impulse move. So it also seems very unlikely on a 4-hour time frame that's happening right now. Daily time frame. Daily is extra Fibonacci. Don't need all of these guys. So you've had these tests of that 200 period moving average. Subsequent to those most recent two, you broke your previous highs and confirmed the uptrend still in place. So far so good. Let's go across and look at VIX. On the daily time frame, you can see you're in the bullish control zone and you've not got anything to worry about in terms of momentum. So onto VIX in terms of volatility. What's it doing? Still in the doldrums. In the doldrums, VIX. Daily time frame bouncing off the bottom, like the top of the bearish control zone, but price action not going very far. Daily time frame, we got nothing new because we'd already broke that previous low. And without the divergence, it does look like you could just touch slower. I mean, this is what's holding us up, this historical area. And ahead of that, we had a little bit of a test down around 12 and change. So that's what will be happening on VIX if SPY keeps pushing up to those higher targets. Testing just below 12, which obviously you had a huge move up from that once. As you can see here, still measured against that on the current retracements. And then, you know, in around 12, this is where you see the biggest move on VIX. Sometimes it's when it starts putting in new formation subsequent to, I mean, this was downward sloping, possibly a wedge. It looks like a channel till you broke this thing, breaking down. Channel with negative breakdown here down to 12. I mean, you're not on the RSI exceeding any of these previous lows, so you could easily see it drop in there, which would mean price coming down to 12, which would mean SPY going on up again, which would mean also, if you are interested in huge moves happening on Bitcoin, especially there this last 4 hours, good to see it. More information on that on Rocky Outcrops channel, www.youtube.com/c/Rocky Outcrops. Definitely a channel you should check out if you're interested in trading. You'll learn so much. Loads of it's free and really accessible and easy to get into. Brilliant community on Discord, www.discord.gg/Rocky Outcrop. And you can get full access to that via Rocky's Patreon, which is the same, patreon.com/RockyOutCrop. You should totally check all those things out, 100%. If you're interested in being a good trader, you'll find other people like-minded on the same journey with the same level of commitment to you on those options. So check them out and hit the like button here. If you'd like me to look at anything in particular, just let me know. And we've had big moves, obviously. Millionaire Maker Series, something to talk about with SPCE hitting these targets. And since the first trade we talked about on this now, get it on the 4 hour. You make it back above here, you've got a whole new other guy on the go. Breaking out of this channel, making it back up, getting in for the 886 retracement. Huge. Huge, yo. Do you want to give me the measuring stick? 85%, 27 of that today. ATIP, they obviously adjusted the charts, but that's a huge move towards that first flash. Cassie continues. GREE picking up even more. Hi, Coco, from the recent moves. Bitcoin, another 7%. RIVN, 5% again today, testing that downward sloping diagonal into the decision box on RIVN. Good to see. Interesting there. So good, everything good. Obviously, Tesla 274. Question is it going to go up now and test that? Was it $300 target in the previous high? Now that you've managed to exceed the downward sloping resistance, but you haven't managed to break above the measured move from the previous head and shoulders. This is head and shoulders over here after you got Rocky Flash, and then you came back up and you tested the previous flash area where you had a gap and a downward sloping diagonal, as you can see there, downward sloping diagonal, but the measured move took you to here and exceeded that potential diagonal resistance. You were much more focused on the horizontals. So the question is, do you go on then for the full extension, test just above 300, or do you come back and test the 200 period moving average and the basis line within this channel, which would be found at around 250 in the previous peaks on this resistance at the time, now perhaps support on a retest. So that's what you'd be looking for. If it comes back, potentially losing up to 50, 60 bucks, and if it does push to the top side, another 30, 35 even on the cards, possibly. Post market, it's up another % or two. So good to see. That's Tesla. You can let me know about things anytime. We'll give you proper feedback on where and when to enter and potential risk and reward setups that look attractive to my mind, which will definitely inform your own trading. Well, good value, so they are. Link in the description. It's streamelements.com/tradespotting/tips. And you can use a credit card or PayPal, and I'll get back to you with a video personalized to help you as best as I can. More details you put in there, the better I can make the video. Same with the donation. Thanks very much. See you in the next one. Could be one later. Could fax me now. Could be one any minute. Hit the like button.